And welcome to episode number 7 of Tally Benchwarmers. This is your unofficial, definitely not expert take on the latest and maybe not so greatest in local college sports. This week we are again backbenching, and really we probably should put the FSU football team way on the back of the bench. Backbenching FSU football, FAMU football, and wow, we get to celebrate FSU women's soccer with that big victory on Sunday night against Notre Dame, and talk a little bit volleyball. And, you know, basketball season starts today, November the 5th. Is today the 5th? The 4th? Today's the 4th, and so college basketball season starts in Tallahassee today on the 4th. Hey, I am, again, David Mullins. I'm the head bench warmer, and if you are watching on a podcast, you're wondering what the heck has he got on his head. Well, I'll explain that a little bit later, but I think I'm the goofball of the bunch. But welcoming again to the bench is Adrian Andrews,
What's up, guys?
Sports reporter extraordinaire. You were busy. I saw at least two sports stories over the weekend, the two football games.
Yeah, 2 football games. So, I mean, hey.
Yeah.
Now it's time to kind of go into basketball and soccer, man. We can deep into it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Jennifer Tappen, who was in Jacksonville last week watching the Jags lose, almost win, but lose.
It's the Jags, so it's an almost win, not a loss.
Yeah, but you did have some picks for the week which we we'll talk about later. But I think your winning percentage was increased a little bit by a couple of picks. So good for you. And
Thanks.
Eric Carter. Eric, it's good to see our assistant chief engineer here. We have what some people may call a motley crew here on the bench, but we are all sports fanatics here for FSU, FAMU, and really the sports in general. But
you said there was 2 games this weekend?
There were 2 televised football games. Mm-hmm. Now, whether there were actually, you could consider them, I guess, any kind of a competition is one other thing, right?
All right.
So we're going to talk about both of those here. Yeah.
Roger that.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Wait just a second. Wait. We normally start with FSU football, but let's talk about the team that won this week, the FAMU Rattlers homecoming. What a big victory against
Texas Southern.
Yeah, and Texas Southern went back to Texas with that loss, and what we really have been pulling for our Rattlers, because we've got to pull for one of the teams in town, right?
Yes.
And with an expectation that there's going to be a victory.
Yeah.
What good game though? Yeah.
Hashtag HC2K24.
Oh wow. Let's vote now. Go slowly with that again, so we can make sure we get that hashtag.
HC 2K 24.
24. I love that. Yeah, absolutely. Homecoming Richardson had a good game, right?
Man,
yeah.
I think that's his best game this season, man. 5 TDs, right?
Yes, he was very proficient.
He almost reached that 300 mark. I was cheering for him to get that, but he came just short. But that was awesome, man.
Well, that 300 mark would have been hard to reach because that running game was just...
It was dynamic.
They had 500 yards,
Dynamic.
500 plus yards, right?
Yeah, man.
That was a dominating
531 yards on 72
Yeah.
plays.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy.
Yes.
And defensively held them to less than 170 yards, like 164 or
They
something
had
like that.
47 plays for 164 yards.
You talking about dominant?
Yes.
Oh, my gosh.
And one of those was a 90-yard kickoff return, so that one doesn't really count. I mean, it counts, but
It does count, yeah. And in fact, we had a kickoff return for FSU a week or two ago that counted, but it didn't help, right?
Right.
Same sort of thing, yeah.
Yeah. But that was the FAMU that we've been waiting for this year.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
You know.
Yeah.
And it's
So-
like, I don't know what happened ever since that Jackson State loss. It's like, I don't know if Coach Colsey came into him, just was.
Lit a
I want
fire.
to know that speech
He lit a
because
fire.
he gave a phenomenal speech, and in the way that we've able to bounce back and 2 wins, and that's great.
They started this game on fire.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That defense came out pumped.
Yeah.
What was the halftime score? I forget. We were up
20, was it 21 or 28 to zip? It was
Yeah.
21-0.
Yeah.
21. I
21-0,
thought
yeah.
we were
Yeah.
up by 21
21-0.
points at halftime. Yeah.
Yeah, pass the sticks. But listen, I mean, the good thing about it, hey, listen, we might not make the SWAC championship this year. Well, you know, we're fighting that uphill battle, but we will see. Keep that streak alive.
Yes.
We're at 23. You know, 23-0 and brag. Haven't
Yes.
lost a game since
Yes.
2019.
Yeah.
That's listen.
That's incredible.
Strike.
That's
Strike.
incredible.
Incredible.
Strike again.
Yeah. In front of a sold-out crowd, over 23,000 fans were there.
It was packed.
Yeah.
There was a lot of traffic driving around town.
Oh, yeah.
Tallahassee
Both
this
games
weekend.
started within a half-hour
That's
jump.
Yeah.
right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Logistically, it wasn't pretty.
Yeah. College Town. Yeah, that's College Town for you.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's College Town.
We play. Do we travel to Prairie View next week? I think we
Correct.
do. FAMU
Yep.
travels to
Yep.
Prairie View.
Yep.
We still got to wait. We hope for Jackson State to lose
Twice.
Yeah,
It'd be great if they could even lose once, right? But
Oh yeah.
but
They got to lose twice. They got to lose two
they gotta
conference
lose
games.
twice.
They gotta
So
lose.
it's
yeah. It's
it is definitely a big uphill battle for
yeah.
the
only thing we got to do
the
just
championship.
win out.
Yep.
Just as long as you protect home field. That's the only thing I
Yeah,
care about at this point.
We're
So,
building a good squad for next year.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we got a good squad this year. Richardson we came in as a portal
transfer,
player, right?
yeah.
Transfer.
Hired
So,
transfer.
so who do we have behind him potentially as a QB for next year?
Junior Maritovic.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, Junior Maritovic. He'll be the next guy up. I'm not sure if they try to,
We
if
need
they
to try
go
to
with
get him
him or if
some-
they're gonna. Yeah, and he got some reps in.
We need to get him some
he
more
looked
reps.
good.
Saturday.
Yeah,
He
looked
more
good.
reps,
Yeah.
Mhm.
So.
His passer rating was a 167, which is not bad.
Mm-hmm.
It's not bad, limited
Yeah.
action and then getting in there, mop up time, and everybody was feeling good.
Yeah.
So
So.
FAMU has a team that they're kind of building for next year. We got another team in town that just looked pretty sad on
said
Saturday.
team?
We've got another college football team that is in this town that
TCC
looked
or
that-
TSC?
TSC doesn't have a football team, unfortunately.
darn
Are you
it.
sure?
But maybe we keep some.
They should.
But Saturday's loss against North Carolina was just to me it felt like it was the worst loss of the season so far. It seems like this team has gotten worse and worse and worse may not be just less competitive every week.
I'm going to use a word that's
Yeah.
made up.
Yeah,
They've gotten worser.
worser. We've gotten worser.
That's fitting.
Battered. Yeah, battered.
Now let me explain the cap real quick, because if anybody heard or watched any of Coach Norvell's post game press conference, and he was asked some pretty good questions. One of them about kind of his confidence in himself, and I praise him for the confidence that he has as a coach. He's got confidence that he can rebuild this team. That he can, but he's not even calling it rebuilding. He's confident that he knows what to do, and then he's got guys in the locker room that can make things happen. To me, when I heard that, it reminded me of the old, and I haven't seen these in a long time. Do you remember the old rally caps in
Rally
baseball?
caps.
Yes.
When your team was down going into the ninth inning and you had maybe a chance to win, and all the fans would turn those caps on. And
I think
so
they-
this is.
out.
I
this
think the
is-
animals still do that.
Do they really?
I think they do.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, but this is instead of my rally cap, this is my tally cap, right?
Okay.
See, tally cap. We are hoping that Coach Norvell's confidence in himself and in the team can maybe bring at least one more victory this year. But this week,
My
see.
notes for this week
Yeah.
is another streak gone.
another streak gone.
I'm done.
Yeah, the Mac Brown, the
I'm
Mac
done.
Brown. Listen,
Yeah.
when the opposing running back outgains your entire
my
team
gosh.
And
by-
scores more touchdowns.
and scores three
Marion
more
Hampton,
touchdowns
yeah,
than you.
Marion Hampton
maybe-
went crazy.
he did,
32
yes.
carries, 172 yards, 5 TDs. One of those being he caught one.
Yeah. It was a shovel
So,
pass. It was a shovel pass. And he just took it to the house.
It's I don't know, man. But I thought that game there, I think Norvell sort of said, "Hey, I think the passing game is not working with us. We're just going to stick to the run." And honestly, That's sort of what you have to do.
What run?
Now, I understand. I understand.
Yeah,
the amount of yards accumulated was just not there. But, okay, we rushed the ball. We ran the ball 28 times, right?
That's a lot.
Right. That's a lot for Florida State.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
29
We only threw the ball for 18. Yeah, we only threw the ball 18 times. We only completed 8 of that. So, 8 of those 18 attempts. So, it's like you have to stick to the run game at that point. Obviously, you sort of like to see to a Philly maybe break out a couple more of those.
Yeah, but if we stick to the run game, what does that do for our quarterbacks for next season?
True.
At this point, we're maybe have one win left. We got to look at next season. And what do we need to do for these guys for next season? Forget about this season. Yes, we still have to forget about it.
Yeah, but the question probably still is do we have the quarterback for next season on the roster right now? And I don't know that that's an absolute.
I wouldn't say we don't. What we need is an offensive line.
Yes.
You've got it.
Because no matter who's back there. If we had Cam Ward back there.
Yeah.
That was our 8th line in 9 games.
Yeah.
I think Luke has a lot of talent. He has a lot of mobility, but he doesn't have any protection, and he also doesn't have a whole lot of experience.
Yeah.
So I think if he can get out there, Brock, bless his heart, he's just not going to make it. I don't think. I like him. He's high spirited.
So I'm going to throw out, and we can talk. We'll be able to talk about this for many weeks to come. But Florida's star freshman Lagway goes down with a hammy injury. And if, let's just say, Florida ends up canning their coach, do other teams aggressively go after Lagway? And if that plays out, should FSU go after this young kid who is an outright superstar in the making?
It wouldn't hurt.
Yeah,
I believe that if the Swamp Lizards, the Swamp Lizards do get rid of their coach. The Lagway came to play underneath him, and he made that known. He came to play underneath him. So when he's gone, that kind of opens him up to be poached. Yeah. So should we go after him?
What?
I don't know, because he got hurt behind a line that actually can block.
Well, but it was a hamstring, right? It was.
Yeah, but if he has to do a lot more running,
Isn't the portal part of our problem this year?
What I was going to
So instead of trying to scramble to find ways to people outside to fix, can we just focus on the guys that we have and
depends on how fast that the boosters expect this season to turn around, because you're not going to turn it around and without leaning into the portal.
I would say if we
not
go
quickly. You're not going to do it next year.
If we go after a portal quarterback, let's get guys that have more than 1 year left.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
So Lagway would be that type, because he is a true freshman. So, he has many years left. So we can actually develop and build a team around him. Now, these hired guns with this, 5th-year senior, 7th-year senior, 8th-year senior, and then, they're still holding on their hopes to getting into the NFL. We need to leave those guys alone, because that's what's been biting us now, because we built a team that was paid for to win right now. And it bit us.
Yeah. Hard.
Yeah, it did. Okay, I think we've beat that horse to death, at least for one more week. Well, we got Notre Dame coming up this week, so
that's a beat.
Yeah. But we're talking about Florida and Lagway. What a game it was in the first half against Georgia, right?
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Scary.
Yeah. It looks scary. Yeah, well, that's scary. Right. Here's our bulldog here. So,
It was,
so yeah.
I hate to jump ahead, but I don't think we have a chance. And so the only team that I was like, well, the Bulldogs have to win, because Florida State probably isn't. They have to beat the Gators. One of my teams has to beat the Gators. Somebody does. Jeez.
Yeah.
But they were tough. But
the
that's
Lagway
usually
went
a tough
down,
game.
and that seemed like the turning point of the game.
But Carson Beck too he's struggling.
Well, and it seemed like back from what I was reading and hearing, and I saw this a little bit of it, he looked kind of lost at times.
He looked shell-shocked.
He was shell-shocked.
That's happened a couple times to him. This is the second game in a row where he's thrown 3 interceptions, which is unheard of for him, and especially in the Heisman race.
He's not racing anymore.
No, he's kind of done.
Yeah, he's out of it now.
He's bench warming.
Hey, but let's pivot to the ACC, and Louisville beat Clemson
Go Cardinals.
Not just beat them. Not just beat them, embarrass them.
Embarrass them, right?
Yeah. Their fans were leaving in the third quarter, and I'm like, us Florida State fans, we
That's-
stick around. And we're still here.
Yeah, well,
Maybe we're just a glutton for punishment. I don't know.
Absolutely.
But so ACC championship right now, SMU beat Pitt. So SMU and UM are the undefeateds right now. But Pitt plays both Clemson and the Hurricanes, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
So Pitt, let's play at that scenario. Pitt beats UM, and so SMU. Really, I don't think SMU's playing anybody that they aren't expected to beat.
They're expected to win the rest of their games.
They should win out. So SMU probably has a lock in the championship game. So
I believe so.
Who they play? Who they end up playing? That what a horrendous just disappointment for the folks down in Doak South. If UM were to lose to Pitt and then lose out on a bid in the ACC championship game after what has been this season for them. But
I'm going to tell you, I was excited for Duke that first half.
Me too.
I was cheering for him. I was like, come on, but
it looked like Duke just kind of started wearing out.
They ran out of gas.
Yeah, they ran out of gas.
Yeah.
So college football, even though our beloved Seminoles are struggling. I'm trying to think of the right word.
Drowning.
I don't even think a life vest would help them at this point.
No, they're in Titanic. There's no room on the door.
But so real quick. I mean, you've got to assume that there are going to be some assistant coaches let go, and it seems like the sooner you do that, the better
for recruiting.
So
they
maybe
all got extensions though this year. So.
Yeah, they
did.
But
they all got pay raises too.
They got pay raises, but it's probably like in the $10 million range for several of them, collectively, rather than what the huge buyout is for Norvell. But if we've got to buy after this week, right? We've got to buy before. After the Notre Dame shellacking. This week, maybe that's a time that we'll see.
They're scrimmaging against us. That's what I mean. It's just it's a practice game for them.
Yeah, maybe so. Yeah. Hey, so you know what time it is? It's time for me to take the tally cap off because we're going to talk about FSU women's soccer, and we're bringing on board.
Oh, Lady knows.
We're bringing on board WFSU's
right.
ladies soccer expert, Kim Kelling. Kim, I'll give you a chance to get your headsets on. I'm going to take my cap off.
Expert is a bit of a stretch. I would say rabid fan.
Rabid fan.
That's sort of what I am. But hey, it was a really good night last night.
Yes, it was.
They entered into the ACC tournament. They beat Miami 1-0 earlier to land a spot in the ACC finals. They played. Good. This was the semifinals. They played Notre Dame. Notre Dame was ranked 6th in the ACC, FSU 3. So, but man, they just launched into it. They hit the field, and they were going to prove to everybody. Because in the past, sometimes they get a bye because they're so high in the ranking, they don't have to play that first game. And they were going to show everybody that, don't worry, we got this.
They scored with 1 minute and 57 seconds in.
That was and the goal was like this loop.
Yes,
it was like a loop into the left corner,
top shelf.
It was crazy, and it was. I love it because it was senior Mari Jimenez,
right?
And she doesn't always start, and she got this chance, and then she got that goal, which stood for a long time as the only goal of the game.
That was the fastest goal scored this year by FSU.
It was very impressive. And FSU went on to dominate the first half of the game.
Yeah.
Notre Dame didn't know what to do. They just couldn't break through our defense.
Almost scored at the end of the half the goal that was a second too late, right?
Fingertips.
Yeah. It was like, what? As you watched it, so the Notre Dame player got this great pass and then just broke away, and I think FSU was like, the half is over, man. It's like they pulled back and they kind of chilled.
Be careful.
Exactly. And then this Notre Dame player was like, and she got a beautiful shot.
She showed up dead.
And everybody in the stands just went,
collective gasp, right? Yeah.
And I have to say we were saved by the clock.
Yes.
By the bell, almost
Saved
if
by the
there was a
clock.
bell there, it would be saved by the bell for sure.
Yeah. So they did not get to count that goal. So we went into halftime 1-0, but Notre Dame came out ready to fight because they were not happy that that goal was taken away from them.
Lots of penalties.
Oh man, it was a.
Kind of, they even say a little controversial with the amount of penalties.
There were 9 fouls on FSU and 12 fouls on Notre Dame.
Yeah.
And that doesn't
That's
count the
physical.
yellow cards
Yeah.
that were
Yeah.
being flown
They were
around.
giving them out like candy.
Like the coaches got them, the players got them. It was just like yellow cards everywhere.
6 yellow cards, 5 on
Oh
FSU.
my gosh.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah, it was a little crazy.
So despite all that, still came out with the victory.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, because thank goodness that our player, Sophie Wen, she's I think this was her second goal of the season.
Yes.
And she came in and saw her shot, and she was out of the box.
Yes.
So this was a hard
It was
kick,
a laser focused kick.
laser kick that went right in.
Bottom corner.
And that was what? How many minutes? 12 minutes or so left in the game when that shot went in.
Yeah, she scored a 75-59 in the game.
Yes. And so that put us like, oh, we're safe. 2-0. We're good.
And Notre Dame scores with 8 minutes left, right?
Notre Dame came back, but
Yeah.
that was also a
Yeah.
controversial goal.
Yes.
And it was because the shot went in. It was it was off a corner kick, and it was a mess in front of the goal. And FSU claimed that Addie Todd, our goalie, was interfered with, and that's a penalty if a goalie's interfered with. I mean, there at one point, there were players like all over her.
Yes. She could barely move.
She could barely move. It was like it was football, not soccer. And well, American football. But anyway, they scored and that it held. And then the last just like 7 minutes of the game were just like heart throbbing. Hold on, we can do it. Let's win this thing. And they did.
Yeah.
Notre Dame had 6 corner kicks in the second half.
If they are a good team. They are a good team. You can't take anything away from them.
No.
But it's great to get a win against Notre Dame at least one time this week.
Well, there you go. And, FSU has not lost at home in several seasons.
So, great way to hold home field.
Hold
we
service.
travel to North Carolina later this week
Yep,
against
and
Wake Forest.
Wake Forest,
Yeah.
who is number 2
The top
in
5,
the
yeah.
ACC,
Yeah.
and we're number 3. So we lost to them earlier in the season, so we're seeking redemption, all of the above.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, and then if we get past them, then we could win again the ACC title and
All right,
put
yeah.
ourselves in good
Yeah.
position for the NCAA finals.
Well, and let's hope that if we
Hosting
can
regionals
Yeah,
again.
host regionals. That's the thing. Yeah, that would be the great thing.
Oh,
yeah.
because home field advantage definitely plays into it.
Oh, big time.
I mean, they had a great crowd out there last night.
Notre Dame travels with all their sports really well.
Yeah. So it was, go Knowles.
Yeah.
We got
Knowles.
to have a go Knowles
Go
somewhere.
Knowles.
Yeah.
Go Knowles somewhere.
Go
Absolutely.
Lady Knowles.
Yes.
Lady Knowles.
So thanks, Kim.
Thanks for having
coming
me.
by,
Thanks for
dropping
letting me
in.
share my passion a
Yeah,
bit.
Absolutely.
we loved it. As long as we keep winning, you're going to keep coming in here.
All right,
just
I'll
let you
stay
know.
up on my
Yeah.
team.
And you're going to need to kind of get up to date on basketball, maybe.
Okay, the women.
Speaking of basketball,
There we go.
All right.
Season
It's even a
starts today.
signed ball.
Season starts today. Season starts today. All 4 teams are starting today. In fact, as we're recording this podcast on Monday morning, the FSU women are hosting. Who are they
got
hosting? Hosting North
Howard.
Florida. No, FSU's hosting
it's a-
North Florida.
yeah, FSU.
FAMU women host.
Yes.
We got, FAMU has Howard.
Howard.
Yeah.
And then tonight, the FSU men host Northern Kentucky, and then FAMU men travel out to Fort
great
Worth,
state of
Texas.
Texas.
Fort Worth, Texas, to take on the TCU Horn Frogs.
Same thing.
Yeah.
I like corn dogs. I like
Yeah.
corn dogs.
You said corn dogs?
And how embarrassing.
You must be
I'm
hungry.
from-
You must be
I'm from
hungry.
Texas, too, and I didn't get that right. Golly days. But so
You've been
basketball
Floridaized.
starts.
You've been Floridaized.
I have been Floridaized. Yeah, that's good. So basketball starts, and volleyball continues.
Yes.
The FSU women hosted Stanford yesterday and struggled. They won the first set, and then Stanford just dominated.
But Stanford is, ranked nationally number 5. So
Yeah.
that's,
Yeah.
That was a tall order for us. We welcomed Cal and Stanford into ACC play this year. We did a sweep on Cal. Go Lady Knowles.
Lady Knowles.
Lady Knowles.
That's something to note, that the ACC for women's sports is probably the toughest of the, what are they called?
Conferences.
Thank you. That's my lack of sports knowledge.
Well, if you stick with us, you'll.
I'll get there.
Yeah,
But, compared to football, ACC isn't thought of as so highly.
It was an
But
afterthought,
boy,
yeah.
put it into
But
the women's world.
Well, to land off of what you said, the ACC in the female realm is very competitive because you took last year's national champion Knowles, who played against Big 12 champion Stanford for the title. Now Stanford's in the ACC.
Yeah.
So,
Wow. Yeah.
you take the top 2 teams from last year and you put them in one conference.
It's tough.
It's tough.
And you're doing the same thing in volleyball.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
And speaking of volleyball, the FAMU Rattler women still undefeated
12
in
and
SWAC.
0.
Yeah, 12 and 0.
Gosh.
Yeah.
they
Had-
are
Yeah.
had
kicking
another
butts and taking
had
names.
another sweep just yesterday. So they are on fire. Love those home games for the volleyball, because particularly the Tully, man. The Tully is packed all the time now. It's so fun to go to the FSU women's volleyball games. Now, if we could get a smaller gym for the women, the FAMU women to play in, it could be a lot more excitement happening, because it's tough. It's tough when you're at the Lawson and you've got you may have several hundred people there, but they're all spread around the arena.
They don't
It's
even
not
put
the
them
same.
together.
Yeah, they don't seem to. It's not quite the same, but yeah, women's sports in this town are, and the ladies softball is really. I mean, they're already playing, and baseball. So lots of sports. Even though the football season is going to end probably fairly not soon enough.
You said going to end?
Yes, okay. The actual games that will be attended by dozens here at Doak will end fairly soon.
Tens of people.
Yeah.
I got a fun fact about the Lawson Center.
Okay, fun fact about Lawson.
When it was being constructed, I worked for Siemens, which is a climate control company. So I ran a lot of the cables that they use for their air conditioning and heating. So I helped build the Lawson Center.
You helped build the Lawson Center.
That's correct.
I think I saw your name engraved somewhere.
It should be engraved on a lot of places in my book there. Yeah. Hey, that is the end of our kind of fun sports wrap, but now we get to have the fun of finding out, number one, how we did on our picks. And again, I forgot to mention at the beginning of this podcast, please don't take any of this to your bookie or to Vegas. This is just us having fun. But after last week, Eric is still in the lead with 81, almost 82% winning percentage. I'm right behind you, right there with 81, just under 81%. Adrian, you were undefeated.
Tell me something, man.
You were undefeated this
something.
past week, so you got your winning percentage jumped up to just almost 73. So you're
Okay.
you're
I'm
doing
about
well.
to see.
So because you picked it's because you picked UCF.
Yeah, this is
where
third time.
couple
Third
of us
week in a
did.
row.
Yeah.
So
Third time's the charm.
Third time's the charm.
And Jennifer, you if you had not picked with
Florida
your
State,
heart,
yeah.
you would have done better. But you're still
I said pretty please.
You're at 69%.
I did.
You're at 69%. But wow, what the UCF victory, before we get into the picks, UCF, big victory. Dominant
over
win.
Arizona.
Yeah.
Dominant.
Yeah.
And here last week, Eric and I were so confident about Arizona. It really was kind of funny when I think about it.
Yeah.
It's like, really? Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we got a chance to redeem ourselves
Absolutely.
with our friends in Central Florida.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so we are playing Notre Dame this Saturday night. nationally broadcast on NBC because they have the Notre Dame football contract.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So prime time on NBC,
Oh, God.
FSU and South Bend.
Primetime embarrassment.
For millions to see.
Yeah, not just dozens.
Yeah.
This is going to be millions. Yes. So, Adrian, who is your pick
Notre
to
Dame.
win?
Notre Dame.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
You-
I know
you're sure?
surprised, right?
You're sure? Actually, I don't even have to go around the table. I know who we're going to pick, but I want to know why. Who are you picking? Why are you picking Notre Dame?
I'm picking Notre Dame because we're playing in South Bend
Yes, with this team.
with this team.
Yeah, okay.
That this team couldn't beat the team that went to Ireland and lost to Georgia Tech.
Yeah. When you
Yeah.
put it that way.
Yeah, gee whiz. I just thought I was depressed. I'm really depressed. 25.5 point underdog on Monday.
Mm-hmm.
That could certainly change before the weekend hits here. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah. So Jennifer, any reason why you're going to not pick with your heart this week and go with Notre Dame?
Because we don't stand a chance.
Okay. Yeah.
We got to give our guest picker. She's got
Oh,
to make some
Kim.
picks.
Kim's going to jump in.
She's a guest picker.
A guest picker?
Oh,
Yes.
I'm a
that's
guest
right.
picker.
Yes.
So Kim, who do you think's going to win the football game this Saturday night? Notre Dame and FSU.
Oh, dear. I have to say Notre Dame, the Fighting
Yeah.
Irish. I mean,
Yes.
I love my Noles, but I think their season is kind of over.
Their season. Well, I think we had this discussion last week.
Yes.
Where it's depending on which week of the season that you really want to think about it. That this season was over, but it was a few weeks ago. I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, and obviously I'm going to pick FSU. No, I'm picking Notre Dame. Notre Dame. So FAMU against Prairie View. Well, I think they travel to Prairie View, right? So
They'll be in Texas.
Yeah.
It's FAMU all the way. So I think
Yeah.
if we play, just play the same game, man. Just play the same thing. No changes, and we should win out the rest of this season. So I'm going with FAMU.
yeah.
I'm going to ride that wagon.
You're on the
I'm
same
gonna ride
wagon.
that wagon.
You okay. Well, you know what? I think the wagon's getting bigger. Who do you think, Jennifer?
It's getting loaded.
Yeah, I'm picking FAMU.
Yeah.
They're on fire right now. They're killing it right now.
Guest picker Kim.
Oh, I got to go with, the FAMU all the way. Absolutely.
Absolutely.
I know so much.
Yeah, they play with a ball that's no longer on the
Oh,
table.
okay.
Though, so just to let you know.
But it seems like
Yeah.
FAMU has actually learned from their losses and improved.
There has been
Unlike
improvement.
the
Unlike
team.
some other team
Yeah.
that will not be named.
not a regression. That was the word I was looking for earlier. A regression. That the team that plays in Doak kind of regressed this season. So we have the Gators who played, really a decent first half against Georgia. They are playing the Texas Longhorns. Likely without their quarterback DJ Lagway with that hamstring injury.
I think if he was in and he was like fully healthy, maybe.
yeah.
But yeah, I'm gonna go with Texas on that one.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with Texas also because
Yeah.
that freshman, he's going to look like he's lost. That speed's going to get him.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and again, the Longhorns got beat by Georgia, but I'm telling you, the Longhorns got a great football team. Jennifer.
Longhorns.
Yeah, well, again,
Longhorns.
these two will hardly ever pick Florida.
I might in a
yeah.
couple weeks, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But
So Kim, you're so up on your college football.
Well, I did get to watch a little of the Florida Georgia game. Some other people in my household
okay.
tend to turn football on. And I was impressed, surprisingly, by Florida. So I'm going to go for Florida.
Are you?
I am.
All right.
Because,
Wow. Guest
when
picker?
Texas had that one game and they looked so bad and they lost against Georgia, I guess.
Yes, it was. Yeah.
I thought that, all this hype about Texas, and then they didn't really show it to me. So
Yeah. Okay. Listen, she could
never know.
really, it could surprise us. I doubt it.
Listen,
Very much
we
doubt
come
it.
back here next week
Yeah.
and all our picks hit.
That's
Yeah,
right.
we want to know something.
Yeah, we're definitely having her back because we're going to follow her
I'm
lead.
gonna sit next to her.
Yeah, exactly.
Kinda-
Yeah, I'm going to pick the Longhorns only because I'm a Texas native and grew up as a Longhorn fan. UM and Georgia Tech, two teams that we have lost to. One team on a last second field goal. One team on just a beatdown. But so UM and Georgia Tech, Adrian.
Giving Cam Ward. Yeah.
Yeah.
It
hurts you. It hurts you.
pains
Yeah.
me. It pains me. I'm going to pick Cryami, but I'm pulling for Tech.
Okay. Yeah, that's a good way to look at it. How about you?
I'm going with Miami, but we got to do this.
Oh, okay.
Upside down. Yeah,
Okay.
upside down.
Yeah, upside,
They're not
upside
you.
down you.
They're not you.
Not you. Yeah. So Kim's looking at her watch because
I'm like,
I think,
well,
what time?
do I?
She's the one who's hungry for lunch.
I am.
Yeah.
I am going for Miami.
Yeah,
I think that they are
yeah,
just got the momentum
they do.
behind them.
Yeah, it would have to be, Cam Ward I think would have to get hurt. I think that's probably for this game. Now later on in the season against Pitt, who knows? But I think Cam Ward would have to go down. So I think we're all in agreement about the Hurricanes. Mm-hmm. UCF against Arizona State. Now last week, UCF put a beat down on the other Arizona team and surprised the heck out of a couple of us around the table here. Mm. And
I don't know if I want to start on this one, Dave.
Oh, okay. So we'll give him
give me some time to mellow. I don't know.
Okay, Eric, who do you think? UCF, Arizona State.
I'm hoping that UCF didn't use up all their points this week. I'm hoping they didn't use up all their points this week.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go out on a limb and I'm going to pick UCF.
Mm-hmm. I gotta look at this here. Arizona. How's Arizona doing?
Arizona State.
It's Arizona State. It's Arizona State.
Yeah.
Man, he comes to this thing so prepared. He's doing his homework.
I go back and I'm like.
So Jennifer, while Adrian's on his phone here, what do you think?
I am actually picking Arizona State this week.
Are you really?
Yeah, UCF is traveling, and historically they haven't been a very good traveling team. And Arizona State is a slight favorite. I think I'm going to go with Arizona State.
Okay, that's listen. She's talking about. She does her homework beforehand.
I'm still losing. I'm still last.
Do you still need more time?
No, I'll give it. Yeah. So this is what we got here.
Okay.
Arizona State.
Uh-huh.
And the reason why I believe with Eric, I think what we saw was that they just took all of that frustration out, but I think they sort of be winded and stuff with this. And also, Arizona State is 4-0 at home. So I'm going to go with Arizona State. I think this will be the one time that I don't pull for the Knights.
They get their first loss this week.
Okay, listen, he's confident. I'm going with UCF too. I've picked
Adrian,
against them.
we have a chance.
I have picked against them.
We got to get back.
I picked against them, and I'm doing it to give you guys a chance.
Thanks.
Kim, do you have any idea what we're talking about now?
I know where Arizona is, and I know where UCF is, and so I'll just say that's what I know.
Okay, good. Well, that's a good pick. Yeah. Now, South Florida, did anybody see the end of the South Florida FAU game where the South Florida coach, Tom Herman, ran over because he was pissed?
Is that with the handshake?
Yeah. He was pissed off because USF was playing aggressively in the last the last few minutes of the game, which they had won already convincingly. But that's exactly what FAU did against USF last year. So So Herman,
terrible.
what a crybaby, man! Really, wow.
Yeah.
So USF plays Navy. Now this is going to be tough for him because even if he thinks it's a USF win, I mean his military. You both of you, and Eric was in the Navy, so. So what do you think? Do you want us to come back to you again?
No.
Think about it?
I actually think it's Navy would take this one. I mean, just
Yeah.
I'm picking Navy.
I knew that. I already had it circled. Eric was going with Navy. How about you?
I got Navy.
Yeah, me too. I think Navy's going to win. And we're going to right the ship.
Right the ship. It won't be sinking anymore.
That just came to me.
It's
right
righting the ship.
So witty.
I'm totally for Navy because my dad was in the Navy.
There you go. That's a
And
perfect
it's totally
reason.
relevant.
It's an
fact.
excellent pick.
Yeah. So, we'll see. We'll see if you guys can come up and get a game on us, maybe in the picks. Our picks are over. I think that means podcast is over. Yeah, I think we had a little fun. Do you have
Back
Did
to
you have fun?
work.
Did you have
Yeah,
fun today?
I had fun.
Did you have fun today?
I did.
Kim, did you have fun?
I had a blast. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, I'm
was
glad you.
awesome
And
having
I know
Kim
Adrian
here.
had fun. But he's already starting to I think, to look
Yeah.
on his phone for next week to see if
Yeah,
we
I
can
am.
get ahead
I
of
am,
the picks.
guys.
If you have any questions, email us at tallybench@fsu.org. And if you would like to sponsor this sucker, you can do the same thing. I'd like to thank Taylor Cox and Jason Acuna over in the booth, Justin back in the TV world, and we will hope that maybe miracles happen with Notre in South Bend with Touchdown Jesus in favor of FSU, but probably not.
Touchdown Jesus.
Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.